Manners maketh.
There's a lot of excitement around this fourth movie, and honestly, I've always loved the Kingsman franchise. It's based on the Kingsman comic series that started with The Secret Service back in 2012, which are some of my favorite comics outside of Marvel and DC. Kingsman the Blue Blood is set to continue Matthew Vaughn's hit spy action series, though it looks like development has slowed down a bit. Vaughn has a big long-term vision for the franchise, with multiple sequels already planned. The next movie has been confirmed as Kingsman the Blue Blood, not a direct follow-up to the prequel The Kingsman. The new Kingsman movie was originally set to release in 2023 and is meant to serve as a proper send-off for Harry Hart and Eggsy, bringing their messy on and off relationship full circle. Beyond that, story details are still pretty scarce. Vaughn has also hinted at bringing in some big names, with Dwayne Johnson and Mark Strong both being mentioned as possible additions to the cast when Kingsman the Blue Blood finally moves forward. Still, despite Vaughn's excitement, it sounds like 20th Century Studios may not be fully on the same page. Even after some discouraging comments from 20th Century Studios president Steve Asbell back in October, there's still a chance the franchise isn't done yet. Taron Egerton has since said that both he and Matthew Vaughn are still hoping to make one more Kingsman movie. When asked directly about Asbell's remarks, Egerton gave a cautious response, saying, "I believe that was said by somebody from Fox, I think. I don't know, and I don't want to speak out of school, but I don't think that necessarily means that we won't do it. I think Matthew and I very much want to do one more. I want to do one more. And so while, we don't have a shoot date yet, I think it could still happen." That's a pretty encouraging update for us fans. It makes it clear that Asbell's comments were more about what the studio is currently focused on, not a sign that the franchise is completely done. With both the lead actor and Matthew Vaughn still very much on board, there's still a real chance we'll see Eggsy return for one final mission. It all started with the first movie. Back in 1997, rookie agent Lee Unwin dies in the Middle East while saving his superior, Harry Hart. Haunted by that loss, Harry later gives Lee's young son, Gary Eggsy Unwin, a medal with an emergency number on it. Fast forward 17 years, and Eggsy's a smart but reckless kid who's dropped out of the Royal Marines and keeps landing in trouble. After getting arrested for stealing a car linked to his abusive stepfather, Eggsy calls the number, bringing Harry back into his life. Harry gets him out, puts Dean in his place, and gives Eggsy a real chance. He then reveals he's part of Kingsman, a secret spy organization run out of a Savile Row tailor shop, and nominates Eggsy to replace the fallen agent Lancelot, who was killed by the assassin Gazelle during a failed rescue of Professor James Arnold. Meanwhile, Merlin discovers that Professor Arnold is oddly carrying on like nothing ever happened, and when Harry tries to question him at Imperial College, a microchip in Arnold's neck suddenly explodes, killing him and putting Harry into a coma. The signal leads back to billionaire philanthropist Richmond Valentine, who's been handing out free SIM cards worldwide, so once Harry recovers, he goes undercover to get close to him. While that's happening, Eggsy bonds with fellow trainee Roxy, and the other recruits mock him, and after brutal training, they're the last two standing, though Eggsy fails the final test by refusing to shoot his puppy, making Roxy the new Lancelot. Harry later uncovers Valentine's link to a radical church group, but during a mission in Kentucky, Valentine activates his signal, turning the congregation violently on each other. Harry survives the massacre but is shot in the face afterward. Back at HQ, Eggsy realizes Kingsman leader Chester King has the same implant scar and learns Valentine's plan to force humanity into a violent cull to stop climate change. Eggsy outsmarts and kills King, then teams up with Merlin and Roxy to infiltrate Valentine's bunker. Despite setbacks, Merlin triggers the implant failsafe, killing Valentine's allies, and Eggsy ultimately takes down Gazelle and Valentine himself, stopping the signal and saving the world. In the mid-credit scene, Eggsy officially becomes the new Galahad, offers his mother and baby sister a better life, and prepares to confront his stepfather Dean and his gang, mirroring Harry's earlier actions. The film was a massive hit, earning $414 million worldwide on an $81 million budget and launching Taron Egerton's career, making a sequel feel inevitable. The second movie picks up a year after Richmond Valentine's defeat, with Eggsy now a full-fledged Kingsman agent using Harry Hart's old Galahad title and dating Princess Tilda of Sweden. But things quickly spiral when he's attacked by former trainee Charlie Hesketh, whose cybernetic arm ends up hacking the Kingsman database and giving Golden Circle boss Poppy Adams the intel she needs to wipe out the Kingsman headquarters with missiles. Eggsy and Merlin survive and follow an emergency protocol that leads them to Statesman, Kingsman's American counterpart, where they discover Harry is alive thanks to nanotech but suffering from amnesia. Teaming up with Statesman leader Champagne, Agents Whiskey, Ginger Ale, and the now ailing Tequila, they work to stop the Golden Circle, restore Harry's memory, and track Poppy's operation, even as Eggsy's secretive mission strains his relationship with Tilda. After Eggsy cures Harry's amnesia in a dramatic way, Poppy reveals she's poisoned all her drugs worldwide and demands immunity in exchange for the antidote, only for the corrupt U.S. president to choose to let users die instead. The team tracks Poppy's operation to Italy, where a stolen antidote sample is destroyed during a fight, raising suspicions about Whiskey's true motives and pushing the mission into even darker territory. At the same time, Charlie blows up the antidote factory, killing Clara for accidentally betraying the Golden Circle. Things get even worse when Tilda calls Eggsy and tells him she's developed the blue rash after taking drugs, brought on by the stress of Eggsy cheating on her. Eggsy, Harry, and Merlin manage to track down Poppy's secret base, Poppyland, hidden in Cambodia, and head there to steal the laptop that controls the drones carrying the antidote. But as soon as they arrive, Eggsy steps on a landmine, only for Merlin to push him out of the way and sacrifice himself instead. The team storms Poppy's lair, where Eggsy finally takes down Charlie, and Harry destroys Poppy's robotic guard dogs with some unexpected help from Elton John, who turns out to be one of Poppy's captives. They get their hands on the laptop and inject Poppy with a super concentrated dose of her own toxin-laced heroin. Completely out of it, she gives up the laptop password before dying from an overdose. Just when it looks like the mission's over, Whiskey shows up and stops them from deploying the drones. He reveals his real motive. He wants all drug users dead after his pregnant wife was killed in a robbery by meth addicts. On top of that, wiping out drugs would make Statesman insanely rich, since everyone would turn to alcohol instead. Eggsy and Harry fight him and ultimately kill Whiskey by shoving him into an industrial meat grinder. With that done, they deploy the drones, release the antidote, and save millions of people around the world. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.